Madison, are you serious? Don't ignore me. I know that you're still awake. Pick it up. Violet, do you know what time it is? Yeah, I do. Let me guess. You want to stay at my place for 3 days, right? Lucas also told me about this, but the answer is no. Come on, I missed the last train, so I have nowhere to go. Do you want me to sleep outside? You were drinking, right? You're a grown-up, so why don't you do something about it? Aren't you worried about me? You're my sister-in-law. We're a family. Take responsibility for your own actions. Come pick me up in 40 minutes. Stay at my place for 3 days? Are you serious? You're so selfish. I have a conference early tomorrow, so I can't go, okay? Weren't you just asked to pick me up by my brother? Yes. Well, why aren't you listening to him? It's an order. No means no. You're my brother's wife, though, right? Why not listen to him? Yeah, I already heard that phrase like 1,000,000 times. You better listen to me this time also. I don't want you to use us, okay? We're not going to help you every time. We have our own life too, so don't think that the world revolves around you. All I'm saying is to listen to what my brother says. Aren't those your favors, though? Whatever. By the way, he told me that you don't listen to him, so what's up with that? Really? Looks like you never make what he wants to eat. That's because we both work, so I don't have time. I make the meal the day before and just put it in the microwave the day of. Also, he changes what he wants to eat every minute. I mean, at least he says what he wants to eat. This happened like 2 days ago, but he told me he wants to eat pasta, so I went grocery shopping to buy ingredients. But he decided to change it to steak on the way home. Are you serious? It's so frustrating, you know? Well, isn't it the wife's job to do something about it? You can handle this, Violet? Yes, because it's my husband. You don't try hard enough and you don't have love. Love. I mean, if you love your husband, won't you do anything to make him happy? Perfect example. I heard that you lowered his allowance. Are you serious? Do you think they can make him happy by doing that? You know about this. We have our own situation about this, so can you shut your mouth? I feel so bad for my brother. So, if you don't want a divorce, listen to your husband and come pick me up and let me stay at your place. How many times do I need to tell you? The answer is no. Okay then, he might divorce you because you didn't listen to him. Do you mean your favor? Anyways, I seriously need to wake up early tomorrow, so can I go to sleep now? There should be motels around here, so find a place to stay for tonight, okay? I'm gonna tell my brother about this.
Madison, are you serious about yesterday? Violet ended up staying at a motel and spent more money. You better pay her the accommodation fee.
Why would I need to do that? It's her fault because she was drinking and missed the last train.
Why don't you care about me and my family? Listen to me for God's sakes. Be thankful that I married you.
Lucas, something is wrong with you lately. You never said something like that before we got married.
Remember this morning? You weren't there to send me off to work.
Didn't I tell you that since I have a conference early in the morning, I needed to leave early? I prepared breakfast for you.
You call the cold-ass soup and waffles breakfast. Are you serious?
There's something called a microwave. I left you a note to heat it up, didn't you see?
Excuse me. Isn't it the wife's job to serve me a hot breakfast?
You think you're the boss or something? You look like a toddler that can't do anything.
What? A toddler? Excuse me. Okay. You know what? I'll say it again. But you should be thankful that I married you, and even earn money for you. You don't understand, do you?
What? Do you want me to say thank you?
Of course. If you didn't marry me, you would still be single.
Wow, are you for real?
If you don't start being a wife, I might divorce you.
Let me ask you a question. What does being a wife mean to you?
Not go to bed before me, not leave the house before me with unprepared breakfast, not manage my salary, being respectful to my family, and last, but not least, but a person who listens to me.
Oh, so what you're saying is that if I don't listen to your childish reasons, you're going to divorce me, right?
Exactly.
Wow, what's gotten into you?
It's common sense that the husband is the boss of the house. Even my sister said that. She said that you should appreciate me and listen to what I say.
That's Violet's opinion, right?
She made me realize that I'm the boss of the house.
You're never going to change your mind about this?
Nope, it's common sense.
Did you ask anyone else about this?
I asked my boss and he said the exact same thing as Violet.
Sorry to say this, but didn't your boss get divorced last year?
Yeah, and the reason was because he didn't need a wife who doesn't listen to him. Do you want to divorce me for the same reason? I mean, it looks like you don't want to, so we can divorce whenever, you know.
Okay then, I'll think about it. I have an important conference from now on, so I gotta go.
Having something more important than me. Well, just well.
Hey Madison, I heard you divorced Lucas. I told you that if you didn't listen to him, this will happen. I just didn't want a husband like him. And? Why are you still living there? You divorced him, so get the fuck out. This is my dad's house. What? My dad, Lucas's former father-in-law? Wait, what the hell are you talking about? That house is my brother's. He thinks it is, but it's not. My dad built and paid for this house. The property's under his name and lent me the house rent-free. Rent-free? Yeah, since the house in the backyard is big, we'll pay for the service charges and maintenance fee, though. Wait, so the reason why he came to my house is because he couldn't live there anymore? Yes, he has nowhere to live. This house wasn't our property to begin with, so of course he doesn't have ownership. Plus, it's not subjected to property division. Are you kidding me? Then what was the purpose of training my brother to be an ass to you? What? Everything I did was for living in that house, okay? Oh, so it's your fault that he started acting weird after we got married. My plan was to make my brother stress you out so you'll eventually move out. Then I was going to introduce my friend to Lucas and make him love her so that we'll be able to move out and live with her so I can have the house to myself. Have you ever thought that if he does find a girlfriend, he'll kick you out? My dumb brother would never kick me out because I always win. Wow, you must have a lot of confidence. Anyways, this is not your house, so forget about it, okay? My plan of you guys divorcing worked, but not having the house. It's not fair. Give me the house. I can't do that because our divorce is finalized, so we're just strangers, so don't ever contact me again. Don't think that I gave up. What are you planning to do? Violet? A week later. What the hell is this? I can't get in from anywhere. What? You're at the house? Get in. What are you talking about? Did you forget that it's my dad's house? If you've been lending this place for free all of this time, then I should have no problem lending it, right? Of course for free. I can let you stay as my housekeeper if you want. We are total strangers, so why do I need to live with you? Also, I'd rather die than be your housekeeper. Shut up! Ugh, I was going to use my brother's duplicate key to get into the house. Also, you have all the shutters closed. Really? I changed all my keys after I moved. That's why. Moved? You? After I divorced Lucas, I was thinking that the house was too big for me to live in, so I thought that it would be better for me to lend it to another tenant who would pay for it and take good care of the house. Who lives here then? No one. But I'm getting a good number of applicants and calls, so it's only a matter of time before someone moves in. Then I'll live here, from today. Can you pay the rent? Why can I not live for free? That's not fair. If you want to argue, then you're out of the question. I really want to move. Then move. To this house. Nope. Go to real estate and find somewhere else. My brother's been living with me for 2 weeks already, but he doesn't want to leave the house. Plus, he doesn't do anything. What the hell? Let me guess. Since he lived at home until marriage, your mom was in charge of everything, right? I knew because he never helped me with cooking and laundry. I actually taught him how to do things since he agreed to divide the house chores because we both work. But I guess that didn't help. Then how the hell did he end up like this? You made him like this. At the beginning, he wanted to help me because of you, though. He started making excuses as to why he doesn't need to help. Wow, he doesn't even earn money and doesn't even pay for me when we eat outside. The reason why we both worked is because we couldn't live off of only his salary, so he told me not to quit my job. His salary is low? Why? He's been working in a company for a long time. You didn't hear anything from him? Hear what? Oh, I guess he didn't tell you all because he has a big ego. 6 months ago, the company where he worked at faced financial difficulties, so a lot of people needed to be laid off, and there was a sign-up sheet who should leave the company. And a lot of people wrote his name. But he really didn't care to quit because the severance pay was a pretty good amount. What? By this time, thanks to you, he'd started thinking he's the boss, so he didn't discuss anything with me. He then decided to find a low-paying job, and I think his salary is a little more than $1,000 every month. Seriously? That's the same as me. I'm a temporary employee. Too bad for him, because if he didn't turn into an asshole, he wouldn't have to pay for the rent and save up money. Also, you know why I gave him an allowance? There was one time when he used all of his salary before handing me the living expenses. Can't believe that he doesn't earn money and doesn't do household chores. He's nothing. You made him that way. I didn't know that he'll end up like this. I thought that the house was his. Anyway, good luck with everything because I'll block you now. Wait! Also, are you in my dad's backyard right now? It's his property, so if you don't want me to call the police for trespassing, leave immediately. And don't think about coming back because there'll be security cameras from tomorrow on. If you decide to come back, the police will come to arrest you, okay? Trespassing? Police? I never meant to do this. I'm sorry. Okay then, well, that's all I wanted to say to you. I'll leave right now. Can you do me a favor? I'll tell you my address. You can take back my brother. Why don't you two remarry? Being single at your age sucks, right? No thanks. Bye. I blocked Violet's number and told my ex's parents everything, which they truly apologized and stopped sending her allowance every month. My ex still thinks that he's the boss, and Violet got really fed up with that and left the house. But since he can't live by himself and can't do anything, he's trashing the house. I don't know where Violet's living, but it looks like she's calling her parents to beg for money almost every day.
Were you surprised to see the groom today? From the bride and groom seat, your astonished face was in full view. You were more than surprised, you were in total panic. What on earth is going on? Why is Tony Regina's groom? Tony was dating me just 3 months ago. And then he started dating Emma right after they broke up. So we are going to get married. Don't talk nonsense. The host just confidently spoke about your relationship history, didn't he? He said that you've been dating for a year now, introduced through a friend. What's this about starting to date right after breaking up? The math doesn't add up. Oh my, you noticed? Explain quickly what this is all about. If it's true that you've been dating for a year, as per your relationship history, does that mean you two were cheating behind my back? Well, yes. The story of us dating a year ago is true. I'm sorry, we've been betraying you all this time. Unbelievable. Regina is my best friend since middle school. And to think you cheated on me with my boyfriend? And even getting married? Well, well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Cheer up. Let's celebrate the marriage of your best friend and your ex-boyfriend. What? The wedding reception is still ongoing. You'll stand out if you're the only one with a scary face, won't you? While we're changing outfits, why don't you practice your smile in front of a mirror? Tony, what on earth is going on? Two-timing me with my best friend and even getting married? What on earth were you thinking? Hey, don't get so mad. Any man would want to marry a beauty, right? If you're going to blame someone, blame Regina for being too beautiful. What's with that defiant attitude? Are you trying to say you did nothing wrong? After lying to me so terribly. It's amazing you can have such a horrible attitude. Huh? A terrible lie, you say? Isn't that what you told me? You said your long-term business trip was decided and our relationship would become long-distance. But you couldn't handle a long-distance relationship, so you asked me to break up. We had multiple discussions and decided to break up. Yet 3 months later, you're marrying my best friend. What does this mean? What happened to the long-term business trip story? You remember something from 3 months ago very well. Well, about that business trip. Suddenly, someone else was decided to go in my place. So I didn't have to go on the business trip after all. What? The truth is, I was supposed to break up with Regina too. No matter how beautiful she is, I can't handle a long-distance relationship due to a long-term business trip. But unlike you, who easily chose to break up, she said she didn't want to break up, that she wanted to overcome the long-distance relationship. Then, coincidentally, the business trip got cancelled. So we decided to just get married. It's amazing how one lie after another keeps popping up. As if all the business trip talk was a lie from the start. You just wanted to switch to your two-timing partner, Regina. If that's the case, just say it from the start. Hey, don't just assume it was a lie. It might have been the real story. You're really the worst right to the very end. Even in a situation like this, you won't apologize to me. Are you going to forgive me if I apologize? Then, it doesn't matter if I apologize or not, right? What? Fine, just watch quietly like the abandoned loser you are. Just gaze at the happy bride and groom from the guest seats. Whoa! Are you still here, Emma? I thought you'd have been crying and left the venue by now. I can't do that, can I? I agreed to give the friend representative speech without knowing anything about the groom. No matter how angry I am, I have to do what I promised. You're still as consensuous as ever. I've always hated that about you, really, since a long time ago. What? You were always serious, a good girl, and had more friends than me. I've always hated you for that. Even though I was prettier, cuter, and more popular with the boys. But why do you have more friends, both boys and girls? It's ridiculous that you, a plain girl, are more popular than me, a beauty. Wait a minute, Regina. Huh? Weren't we best friends? And you've been thinking of me like that? I've always hated you, pretending to be best friends. What? You're nowhere near as cute and you're plain. But you had a lot of friends, so I just put up with being with you. As long as you're around, I could be the strongest woman, beautiful and with lots of friends. Inside, I couldn't stand being with you. Agony, did you say? You thought of me like that? That's a lie. Huh? If If this was a lie, I wouldn't have stolen Tony. Can't you believe it, even after your fiancé has been stolen? But we've really been good friends since middle school, haven't we? We were in the same class and even in the same club, always together. But all of that was a lie? Sorry, but it's all a lie. I've hated you since we were in the second year of middle school. Huh? Second year of middle school? Did I do something to hurt Regina? Yes, you hurt me terribly. You tore me, a beauty acknowledged by everyone, to shreds. What? I've always remembered the anger from that time in the second year of middle school. I was the strongest, being beautiful and having many friends thanks to you. So even when I confessed to the student council president, Senior Joey, I thought I would definitely get an okay. But he rejected me. Can you believe it? Huh? The student council president? And he said, living a life solely dependent on your face is not good. You have a wonderful best friend, so learn from her, he preached. Why does a beauty like me have to hear that? Why do I have to learn from you? What's wrong with living a life entirely dependent on my face? What? Wait, hold on a minute. I have nothing to do with that. Huh? I didn't even know you confessed to the student council president. And that senior, he said such things? His words may have been harsh, but being angry at me over it is just misplaced resentment. Shut up, you plain girl! You're plain, so accept some resentment. What? Ever since then, I've hated you. I swore I'd be happier than a plain girl like you someday. Being popular is only for the time when you're a student. Once you're an adult, beauty is ultimately the strongest. But then you said you're marrying a department head from a big company. So I was pissed off and I took him away from you. For such a reason. Because of such misplaced resentment, you took Tony away from me for such a one-sided reason. Serves you right. If a beauty like me gets serious, all men will be crazy about me. No matter how much communication skills you have, no matter how serious a woman you are, a plain girl is a plain girl. You can't win against a true beauty. So... After all, men prefer beauties, don't they? What's wrong with living a life dependent on your face, I wonder? I'll prove it by being happy with Tony, whom I took away from you. This world is all about face. Only beauty should be happy. It's natural for plain girls to be dumped. I'm the one who dumped him, though. Huh? I don't have any love or affection for Tony anymore. I sincerely wish the two of you happiness in your marriage. But let me just say this. It's not a given that because I'm plain, I would naturally be dumped by my fiancé. In the first place, I'm the one who dumped him. So Regina, you're going to marry a man who was dumped by such a plain girl. Huh? Don't get cocky just because you got dumped, you plain girl. You're a pitiful woman who was dumped. Don't alter your memory and pretend that you dumped him. In the first place, when we first talked about breaking up, he brought it up because he was going to be on a long business trip and we would be in a long-distance relationship. But after discussing various things, I just got tired. I got sick of him constantly sweeping pointless lies, so I told him, that's enough, please break up with me. What do you mean a long business trip when he has a wife and children? He keeps spouting lies even though everything exposed. It's too lame. Huh? Wait, he has a wife and children? Tony was just terrible at letting go until the end. Even when I pressed him, saying there must be some other important reason, he kept spewing lies. Wait, hold on a minute. What do you mean he has a wife and children? He's marrying me today. We're in the middle of our wedding right now. There's no way he could have a wife and children, right? That's right. There's no way I can believe it when you suddenly say something like this. So I contacted his wife during the dress change. Huh? When I told her he's holding a wedding ceremony with this mistress, she said she'd rush right over. And she even said she'd do the speech in my place. So I'm entrusting everything to her and leaving. What? Wait, hold on. Is it true that his wife is coming? And you're leaving at a time like this? Well, just watching the wedding of a couple who had an affair makes me feel nauseous. If I hadn't been asked to give a speech, I would have left from the beginning. Huh? Well then, I wish you happiness. Please continue to enjoy the wonderful wedding. Hey Emma, when did you find out about my wife? I thought I had hidden it well. There's no way you could have found out. Remember a few months ago when you came to my house drunk? You had a ring on your finger that I had never seen before. Huh? That day, you had been on a business trip to Florida, hadn't you? And you got drunk with the people you were doing business with and came home. That's why I thought it was suspicious and looked into your ring and the place you went on your business trip. You investigated? I never imagined that your wife and children were in Florida, where you went on your business trip. Wait, sorry. Your actual home is here, isn't it? You were living in Florida, and met me here when you were working alone. Honestly, I suspected you from the start. You always tried to change the subject unnaturally whenever the topic of marriage came up. And then, you'd come home with a ring on your finger. It's only natural that you'd be suspected and investigated. But how did you know my wife's contact information? I heard from Regina. You invited my wife to this wedding. That's because I exposed everything to your wife. What? Right after I broke up with you, I decided to contact your wife. Even though I didn't know, I had been dating a married man. I wanted to apologize and was prepared to pay compensation, so I contacted her. What? Your wife turns out to be very generous. She told me that I had done nothing wrong and forgave me. However, there was a condition that I had to give her all the evidence of our relationship. She forgives me, but it doesn't seem like she's ready to forgive you. That's why we exchanged contact information to cooperate in the future. Wait a minute. What do you mean she doesn't intend to forgive me? I don't know what your wife intends to do. I just want to do my best to apologize to her. Ah, there's a reply from your wife. She was nearby, so she's coming in a taxi. What? Well then, enjoy the lovely wedding. I'll be leaving now. This is all just unbelievable. Everything is just the worst. Why do I have to go through this? Congrats on the wedding. How was yesterday? Did the celebration go off without a hitch? No way it did. Far from being a celebration, it was called off immediately. His wife really did storm in, and the venue was like a scene from hell. Oh my, a celebratory event turned into hell. After that, there was an immediate meeting with both families. I wanted to just smooth things over by playing the victim who was deceived. But thanks to his wife spilling the beans, everything went up in smoke. She told my parents that I stole Tony from you. Thanks to her, I got a punch in the face from my parents. What? You're always smiling and kind-looking parents? You have a lot of friends and your parents like you. My parents have always been quite fond of you. They were so angry saying, "How dare you hurt Emma?" Uncle, aunt, they got so angry for me. That's not all. His wife, she said she has no intention of divorcing Tony. She arrogantly told me to give up on him while laughing. What? His wife isn't going to divorce Tony? She said she won't divorce him easily because they have a child. Besides, even if they divorced, it would only make us happy, so she doesn't want that. That's why she's purposely not divorcing him. I see. Indeed, it's too simplistic to divorce just because of an affair. There is such a way of making him reflect. That old hag is too cunning. Rather than getting a divorce and receiving child support, she thinks it's much more profitable to keep him as an ATM forever. It's so cruel that she won't divorce him even though she doesn't love Tony. The worst one is him, who was having affairs while having a wife and child. His wife is so cool and composed that I respect her. Don't be ridiculous! What's cool and composed about her? She's just a nasty old hag. She's older than me and ugly, but she told me to pay her damages. What? To me? I had no idea that Tony was married, so I shouldn't have to pay damages to his wife. But my parents got angry, saying that's not the point. They told me to pay the damages to his wife without any fuss. But his wife said I didn't have to pay her and to pay you instead. Then she said she wouldn't say anything or blame me. Oh my, this is quite windfall. Don't be ridiculous. I thought I could become the wife of a corporate executive. I thought I could become a comfortable housewife so I didn't save any money. I can't afford to pay you damages. Huh? We're best friends, right? You'll forgive me even if I don't pay, right? Your parents and that wife are too overbearing. She won't even divorce him. Who does she think she is, telling me not to say anything and to listen to her? Don't mess with me, that old hag. Hey, Regina. I am with his wife right now. What? So she's seeing your conversation right now. She's saying that Brat is not repentant at all. She's making a scary face next to me. What? Why? Why are you two together? We're still arguing about the money of damages with Tony, so she called me to give her as much evidence of the affair as possible. What? That's a message from his wife. Indeed, Regina has no obligation to pay damages. Since it's just me saying it, you can ignore it. But if you do, I'll go all the way. I'll spread the word about Regina everywhere, she says. Hey, stop it! Unlike Florida, where his wife is, this is a rural area. Such rumors will spread throughout the town. It's more like hush money than damages. So I guess I have no choice but to pay. I'll be waiting for your payment anytime. It's up to Regina what to do, but I'll let you know my bank account later just in case. Afterwards, Regina kindly deposited $10,000 in alimony into my account. Apparently, she sold everything she had to prepare the money. Then she was disowned by her parents, and even the few friends she had invited to her wedding started cutting ties one after another, saying, I can't deal with someone like this. And now she's trying hard in a dating venue for high-income earners, declaring, I'll make a big comeback in life. But it seems no one is interested in her, with people saying, your beauty is only for now, what value do you have in the future? As for my ex-boyfriend Tony, he went back to Florida and seems to be spending his days working as an ATM. His salary is strictly managed by his wife, and his allowance is only $100 a month. It seems he's been told that they'll get a divorce when their child turns 20.